If you've been a subscriber for a while, or you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I have, early on in my YouTube career, did a lot of reviews on mobile phones. So for a little while there, I bought a whole bunch of prepaid mobiles from Coles, from Officeworks, from those sorts of places, and I did little reviews on, the budget end of the phone market here in Australia. Pretty much how I started getting a few more views by reviewing technology early on, back in 2013. So if you look back to the last few years, you would have noticed that I haven't really put up any more phone reviews, and the reason for that is because I have been using an excellent phone that I'm super happy with, and I that was game over for me. This phone did everything. It was my perfect phone, and there was no need to buy any other phone. And that phone was the iPhone SE.
I am your father.
So I'm making this video because the new SE has come out, and it just so happens that I am again in the market for a mobile phone. So I thought I'd just quickly review what my experience with the old SE was, why I love the phone, and then why I'm going to love the new one. So like I said to you before, I'm a budget end consumer, so I don't spend huge amounts of money for mobile phones. I did used to do that. I had a Samsung Galaxy Note 2, which was a premium phone at the time. And I also had a Samsung Galaxy Note 4, and I really liked the stylus in the Note 2 and the Note 4. So around that time, the iPhones were still kind of small, and I, at that point, wanted to go bigger. And I really liked the stylus in the Galaxy range because I found it, like at the time, productivity-wise, jotting little notes, that was one of the things that I did on my phone a lot. Also had very decent cameras, so really enjoyed that part of the whole larger form factor experience. But unfortunately, my Note 4 was stolen. So right towards the end of the contract on my Galaxy Note 4, I left it in the bathroom, and I'm not going to tell the story now, but it was stolen and I was furious. But anyway, I needed a new phone, and I needed a phone at the time that had a decent camera. So at the time, and even to today, I still use my smartphone as the camera to do YouTube videos with. So I needed a phone that had an excellent camera for money. Simple as that. So I ended up buying an iPhone SE. My goodness, it's lasted me so long, I can't believe it. And with that, going into iOS, from being an Android fanboy all the way through prior to that, I love the iOS ecosystem, so simple and clean. So I don't have massive hands, and the iPhone SE was really pocketable, a lovely small form factor. I really enjoyed it. I didn't mind the small screen at all, but that's me personally. Fast forward to 2020, here we are, the midst of Corona, and the iPhone SE has unfortunately had the battery drain issue. So where it's now only 80% efficient, and that doesn't sound too bad, but it drains very, very quickly. Like it drains super quickly. And so it was time to let it go. I've tried to do a battery replacement, it isn't working. In the interim, I also went back to an S8. The S8 happened to be a really good bargain a few years ago, so I picked it up on a plan. Excellent phone, absolutely loved it. I dropped it. The cover on that phone I thought it was good, but it protected it from all sorts of drops, but not a direct side drop like that on the screen. And so I cracked it. It's gone. I tried to do a replacement on it. You can check out my other video. I'll link it up, of how I tried to replace the screen. It did not work at all. So failed. So here I am, and it's time for another phone. And so what am I going to get? Well, the iPhone SE. The timing is just impeccable because I want a lovely small phone. I've been looking for a small phone to replace the SE. That is a premium small phone, and this iPhone 8 clone, if you can call it that, I suppose, iPhone 8 with a makeover is going to be the phone that I'm going to get. A lot of people who are SE fans, the older SE fans, they are going to be at the time when it's time to replace their phone. So I think Apple will kind of strategically has released it at the really at the right time. Last year would have been nice, but here we are. So I just thought I'd explain how it is, and I feel that like maybe in another few years I'll be making a video about the new iPhone SE and have exactly the same experience and the same thoughts, because it has excellent chip. It's small. I still really do prefer small phones. You know, it has an excellent camera, has a great processor. It's going to be one of those phones that's going to last at least another 3-4 years. So there's no need for me to buy another phone. So a few key details on the SE. You've probably already heard. It's basically an iPhone 8 that is got some internal upgrades. Reports are that it has the same camera as the iPhone 8 did, which is a pretty good unit. I mean, it's not the best unit, but it's pretty good. It only has the one single camera, of course, whereas a lot of phones these days have multiple cameras. Has the newest A13 bionic chip from Apple. That means it's going to last for a while, and Apple is known for the longevity of its smoothness, so there's no slowdown like you get on Android. I mean, every single Android phone of mine has experienced some slowdown, some stuttering as the months go by. So yeah, the A13 is going to hopefully keep that phone running smoothly for its entire life. The iPhone SE, the 2016 version, definitely did no slowdown, basically very minimal slowdown, hardly any stuttering in the entire time I owned it. It has a small battery in it. Apple could have possibly maybe just increased the battery size a little bit. They've shoved in quite a small battery. Would have been nice to see an upgrade there as well. They have larger batteries sitting around from the iPhone 7s, iPhone 8s. So I'm not quite sure why they haven't really done that, but no, they've got batteries lying around from the iPhone 11s or the iPhone 10s, etc., etc. So they could have used a slight upgrade in the battery, but maybe they couldn't fit into the chassis. So okay, we're not gonna be too cranky about that. It only comes in limited colors. I don't care. I always put a case on my phones, so the color itself doesn't matter. I'm probably going to end up with the black one, even though it shouldn't make any difference what color you get, but the red one, you do end up contributing to a charity to help with COVID-19, I think, at the moment. So, you know, that's something you could do. They should really do that for all the colors. Why just the red one? Whatever. It's a bit gimmicky, I think. Okay, so it comes with 64 gig standard storage. About $80 upgrade here in Australia to get the 128 gig. While we're at it, who is Apple really aiming this phone towards? And I did see a review the other day that I loved it. He was mucking around, but he called it the peasant phone. It's a phone for peasants. I completely agree. It definitely is. It's a cheap phone. It's the bare bones of what you'd expect for a decent phone these days. It's the cheapest way to get into Apple. It's a peasant phone. Call me a peasant, that's okay. I'll live. But yeah. So who does that? So it's for people like me who don't want to spend a lot of money. People who might be a great phone for your parents. A lot of people have brought up that, you know, iOS is a lot easier to use than Android. On the flip side, probably a pretty good first phone for kids. Definitely can't go really wrong for that sort of money. Probably like a really good second phone, if I'm being honest. The first phone you should always have like one of those real budget low-end phones, but you know, if your child is probably due for an upgrade, so this phone is probably going to tick the boxes for a good little upgrade for kids. Sort of for the general public, unless you're must have the greatest, latest phone, this is going to be your best bet for $400 without a question. There's probably just too many nice things that have come together in this phone. So if you're, budget conscious or looking for good value, if you're looking for the best buy, sometimes reviewers talk about the best buy phone, this is definitely it. I'm not really sure how you can, look, the S20 is really good. The Samsung S20, the Samsung S20 is a really good proposition as well. But that's, like I said, here in Australia, $400 extra. And Android versus iOS. I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on one and having a bit of a play and showing it off to you. If you've got any questions or comments, please write them below and I will still endeavour to answer them. I'm still answering everyone's questions and comments. The channel's picking up. Thank you for all those people who have recently subscribed. Also, I have a Patreon that has just kicked off. That's more aimed towards the car side of things, but if you want to support me and enjoy my videos, then please become a Patreon. That'd be awesome. Alright everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for staying to the end. I'll see you in the next video.